What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today Engel have released the all-new special edition Founders Edition, and we're gonna check it out. Let's do it! Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Kyle, and what I do is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, I record it with a simple SM57 setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-standard thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes that just fucking love amps, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on the way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Hi guys, it's me. So upon starting the edit of this video, I found out that my main camera footage was corrupted. And unfortunately, I had to send the amp away as soon as I was done with this demo. So unfortunately, I am not able to reshoot the video. So just keep in mind, I'll probably never be staring directly at the camera in this video, but you can still hear my terrible playing and my annoying voice just fine. So gonna go ahead and post it anyways. Hopefully you guys can understand and cut me a little slack. And with that being said, on to the video. Bye! Alright guys, so very exciting day today because I get to share something brand new with you guys. For reasons that are still unknown to me, Engel allowed me to borrow this amplifier when I went out and met up with some of the guys over at Sweetwater a couple of weeks ago so that I could make a demo and be part of the launch, part of the release for the brand new special edition Founders Edition. So as soon as I mentioned that I was going to be doing a dedicated full month of Engel content, one of the amps that you guys repeated over and over again that I needed to check out was the special edition. You made it very obvious that even though you guys like a lot of the other Engel amps in the lineup, it kind of seems like the special edition is like the crown jewel as far as anything that Engel has ever put out, past and present. So luckily I was able to track one down and demo it with you guys here on the channel, but this is even more exciting because this is an amp that you can actually buy. The old special edition was discontinued and they have basically brought it back. They have tweaked the voicing, they have tweaked the features for the modern player, and they have put it back into production, so now you guys can get a brand new one if you like. But as a quick overview of the special edition, if you guys are unfamiliar with the older versions, these are Engel's kind of flagship 4-channel amplifier. They have a clean, a crunch, a lead 1, and a lead 2. All 4 of them have different voices. Clean and Crunch have their own EQ section, Lead 1 and Lead 2 have their own EQ section, and there is all sorts of switching available on these amplifiers. You get different depth controls, you get classic modern voicing, you get to switch for reverb, you get to switch for noise gate, and then over here on the actual EQ sections themselves, you've got different voicing switches which make a massive difference and really go a long way in allowing you to fine tune the tone on whatever channel you are currently on. Words are really hard for me at the moment. And basically be able to get everything that you need out of this extremely versatile amplifier. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump right in. We're gonna start exploring the tones. We are gonna take a super deep dive on the clean channel. Did you believe me? I hope not, because if you did, you're an idiot. We're gonna jump right into the crunch tones on this thing because we have a lot to go over, and I am doing this demo a little bit differently than most of my other amp demos. As you guys have surely noticed at this point, I am playing through my Engel 4x12. Usually I do these demos on my Mesa traditional cab, but since this is kind of a special situation, this is a launch day release for this amplifier, I kind of wanted to give you the experience of the amplifier as Engel intended it, as they have voiced this amp around their own V30 loaded cabinets. Why the hell did I say own like that? And the way that their cabs are constructed and the way that their cabs sound make a huge difference in the overall tone of the amp. So I wanted to give you guys the experience that you should get out of the box as Engel intended it, and that is why we are using the 412 loaded with vintage 30s. I have an SM57 on that V30. There will be no post-processing on any of this audio, so what I am playing is what you are hearing. And for that intro clip I was using, started out a little different on this one. We have my Bill Kelleher LTD BK 600 with the Lace Dissonant Aggressor pickups in it, and I was boosting the amplifier on the lead 1 channel with my Lick Laram King and Yellow overdrive, but we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna go over to the crunch channel, and we're gonna start off with a guitar with some low output pickups to see if we can actually get this thing to crunch. So I've got my Heritage H150 custom core with their PAF style pickups in it, and we have the gain boost off. This should be basically just your standard crunch tone. So as you can hear, very, very bright, very crunchy. I will say that the mids are a little bit rounder, not as direct. The top end is very bright, but that's just the way that I have it dialed in right now. So we can actually pull that back with the treble, not the treble, the presence. We can add in a little bit more bass, and let's go ahead and start pushing that gain already. All right, so let's test out how sensitive this thing is to rolling back the volume on the guitar. Can we get it to clean up? All right, so as you can see, it actually cleans up really surprisingly well. But with that being said, I don't care about crunch tones all that much, and I don't think you do either. So here is the gain boost kicked in with the gain at max on the crunch channel. So as you can see, getting pretty saturated even with these lower output pickups. Let's try kicking in a boost like a Boss SD1. It's actually taken that surprisingly well. That sounds pretty good. We've got our depth boost in, but our depth punch. What the hell is it called? Depth boost, yes. Let's kick in the mega low punch, which will add some even more low frequencies. All right, so even with low output pickups, if you dial it in the right way and get a solid boost in front of it, it's gonna be able to give you high level tones, high gain tones is what I was trying to say. It's gonna be able to deliver that all day long. And personally on this amp, the crunch with a good boost out front and a different guitar with a hotter pickup, that is my favorite tone on this amp. So let's grab a different guitar and test that out. Alright guys, Duncan Distortion in my Balaguer Typhon here. I have it dialed in. As you see, I have removed the mid-shift switch and I have kicked the Lick Lairm King in Yellow back on. Here's how it sounds. Alright, so super raw, super aggressive. There's a little bit of top end clankiness going on that I'm not necessarily a fan of with the particular setup that I have right now, but overall it's a very raw, very aggressive tone. Even with that mid shift off, all we had to do was compensate with a little bit of volume and it really just kind of brought it forward, made it very aggressive. I'm not sure if it would cut in a mix though, because that mid shift seems to introduce the frequencies that you would really need in order to break through in a mix, but let's try it with an active pickup and see how it responds to that. Alright, so with my LTD here with the Fluff Signature Fishman Fluence pickup in it, I was able to kick the mid boost back in and introduce a little bit more treble because this one is a little bit more rolled off on top. Seems to be taking the active pickup even with an overdrive out front just fine. Without an overdrive, this channel, you're going to struggle getting enough output out of it. Here is the same tone with no overdrive. So it will be saturated enough for some people, but for others, probably not so much. Let's try a drop tune riff. It's got a really guttural thing going on, just a very low mid voiced like grunt to it. Sounds super cool. Again, probably not what you're expecting out of a crunch channel, but it definitely can get the high gain thing, especially if you've got a high output pickup or a boost or both. But let's move over to what I think is really like the most versatile channel on this entire amplifier. That's lead one. All right, guys, straight to the drop C riffs with no boost out front. All right, that is my favorite tone that I've gotten out of this amplifier so far. One thing I will say about this channel and about the amp in general is it almost, maybe you'll be able to hear it under the mic, maybe you won't. It almost seems to be lacking a certain like high frequency that makes it present. When you adjust the treble or you adjust the presence, they adjust two very different frequencies, as they should, but I almost feel like, and I think that I had this same issue with the regular special edition, the treble is almost placed in the, high mids or closer to the high mids than I am used to on a lot of amplifiers, and there just seems to be a little bit of frequency that's missing that is like, takes the blanket off of the speakers and really kind of makes it feel alive. And it could be this particular cabinet, it could be, a number of things, it could even be this room, but that's just what I'm hearing. Let me know what you guys hear down in the comments. That's really my only complaint about this tones that I've been getting out of this thing so far. All right, so back over to the Balaguer with the Duncan Distortion. And as you can hear, man, this thing needs no help. getting tight or saturated without a boost. I've got the mid edge on. Let's turn that off real quick. Like most angle mid button switches, it sounds good when you turn it off, but it's just not going to cut in a mix if you were to play it like that. Like this channel and this amp in general just feels like it has a boost built in front of it at all times. I personally like it when things are a little bit more open. I personally like it when things are a little less compressed, a little bit more open, so I can add a boost in front for myself and shape the front end and the response and the voicing overall like that. But a lot of people like the amps that are super tight by themselves and don't need a boost. And if you are one of those people, this amp is 100% for you. All right, so again, that's no boost. You do not need a boost at all. With the high gain switch pushed in, let's pull that out and let's dial that lead gain back. And as you can see, just like that, it is a crunch channel. Like it sounds actually a lot like the crunch channel that we were just on. So let's go ahead, let's hit that classic voicing switch real quick just to see the difference that makes. In my opinion, it seems to round out the mids. It takes some of the top end off. We need to turn the volume up to compensate. So very, very mid forward. If you were trying to play some more classic rock and you wanted a little bit more of that like honky mid-range thing going on, you could definitely do that. Let's pull the middle back. So yeah, just a very classic voicing overall, very mid-forward. But that is it for the classic voicing because we're not here for classic tones. Another switch on here to change the voicing is the contour, which seems to add a lot of like low-mid punchiness. Not my favorite because it makes it sound a little too round in the mids, but here's what it sounds like. Like I said, adds a ton of low mids. Let's turn it off. So with it dialed like that, it certainly, so yeah, as you can see, that switch makes a massive difference. If you really want to fill things out and go for like a super thick tone, that really fills the low mids in quite a bit. A little bit too bulbous, shall we say, for my personal taste. But let's turn that contour switch off. Let's see how this channel takes a boost, because in my experience, it's very hit or miss with overdrives. Due to that built-in compression, let's go ahead, let's kick in that Boss SD1 Wazacraft again. I've also kicked in the Mega Low Punch, so we should have all the bass tones, bass frequencies that we need. That's what I was trying to say. I really do feel like this channel just sounds the best without a boost in front. All right, guys, so we've already done the drop C on this channel, but let's check out the 7-string with the EMG 57 in the bridge. So as you can see, straight in, no boost necessary. Again, we're hitting the front end hard with these active EMGs, and it just kind of makes for, especially if you're tuning down, a lot of the times when I tune down, I have to have an overdrive. A lot of these Angle amps, I don't like. It's just the compression is already built in, and then when you add the compression of an active pickup, it just does the damn thing. So let's try a regular EMG guitar. But now it's time to move over to the lead channel. I will preface this by saying, guys, the lead 2 is very, very compressed, very saturated. It does not take boosts at all. And really, it's made for leads. Like, that is a true lead channel where it is particularly made to make leads easier to play, more fluid, more saturated. So I'm not gonna spend too much time there. All right, guys, Heritage H150 Artisan Aged with the Duncan Antiquity pickup in the bridge, and it is dialed in as you see here. Here's what we got. So again, that is no overdrive, that is low output pickups, and we are getting all the gain, all the saturation that we need. It's super tight, very percussive. But if you're trying to play leads and you need just that compression and the smoothness of this channel, let's kick in that contour. I'll make an attempt at a lead. It's not gonna be pretty, but you'll see that you don't need to try at all to get the notes off the fretboard when you have this much compression and gain. Again, not a lead player whatsoever, but it's super easy to get those notes to sustain, to sing. They're not overly bright up top because it's so smooth and compressed that they're just gonna basically go on forever. And that is more or less what this channel is made for. But I will say I'm able to get a pretty cool scooped metal tone on this channel with the boost on out in front. It's dialed in as you see here. So still, overall, not my personal favorite tone, but it definitely sounds good. If you have that high gain switch turned off, you can get this thing to basically take a boost just fine. But if you have the high gain switch turned on, even if you remove or pull out a lot of the gain, that's what adds a lot of the compression. And as you can see, it's just overly squashing the front end of the amp. So let's try for one more good tone on this amplifier. Let's go back to lead 1. All right, so last tone on this amplifier, and I think it sounds really good. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for me today on the all-new Special Edition, Founders Edition from Angle Amplification. What did you guys think about this amp? Let me know down below in the comments. What did you guys hear through that SM57 and through your speakers on your end that I maybe didn't hear here in the room? What are your opinions on the overall tone of this amp in general? You guys know I'm always curious to see what you guys have to say, so leave it down below in the comments. I'll make sure to meet you down there to chat about it. Huge thanks again to Angle for allowing me to borrow this to make this demo for you guys and to help reveal this amp to the world. A super cool experience for me, and I really appreciate what they have done to support the channel. If you guys want to pick this amp up, it is available today, and I'm pretty sure that Sweetwater has a few of these now. They may be gone at the time this video airs, but I'm pretty sure that they have a few of these amps in stock. So if you guys want to get it, make sure to hit that affiliate link below. Buy from the best people of business and get yourself an awesome amplifier if you feel so inclined to do so. That was not the correct way to word that sentence, but I don't really care. Thanks so much for watching. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.